smell and teeth.
Hello.
Hello. I always dread it when I come in here. You put a microphone in front of me and go, hello.
Because I want to talk about shopping. Like gear shopping.
Oh,
I want to talk
better,
about
yeah,
music production, actually. And I want to talk about stupifying of music production.
You know, this winds me up.
He does.
Yeah.
But for me as well, this week it reached a new height. Because this week I saw an advert for a piece of gear. And I'm going to have to read out what this piece of gear was because it blew my mind. Not in a good way either.
Oh, go on.
Right. It's a Scope Labs Periscope Omni microphone. And it's shaped like a periscope. I thought I'd actually gone back in time and I was in a submarine.
What the But
See, he's lost words now.
But I think it's been happening a long time. I mean, with the 5th edition of the Dance Music Manual, I'm going to give crayons with it, a pack of crayons. It's going to, every 2 pages, here's a picture of a Moog, colour it in. No, it is.
Well, people do say the book's too complicated, you know.
And I know, and it's the fact, well, so's audio production. For fuck's sake. I mean, although the other day, I was on Google, and I can't remember what I was looking on, but there's an advert at the top, and it's like, learn the secrets of dance music production. Over 200 colour photos. Fucking photos. Is it going to come with crayons as well so I can crayon bits in while I'm doing this?
Probably would, actually. Maybe it's got a dot to dot. Maybe that's it, dot to dot on production. We could do that, you know.
Learn MIDI with dot to dots. Look, I connect that dot and I connect my synth up.
I mean, what is the fascination of like making, say, gear that's used by professionals look like a toy? I mean, the latest piece, another piece of gear I saw recently was the Terry EQ and it says for mixing and mastering. It looked like a Fisher Price toy. Showing me age there, I know, but
what's happened is that years ago.
Oh, yes, go on.
Back in the war, Henry.
Go on.
Used to write to me. But back in history, if you wanted to do music, you had to go to university. You had to learn it. Then you had to go to a professional studio. You had to work in a professional studio to use the professional gear. What's happened today is they've made that gear available to everyone.
Yeah.
And the thing is that because that gear is now available to everyone, they've got to lower the standards. They've got to appeal now to the lowest common denominator because people don't want to sit there and go, well, a compressor, attack, release, threshold, ratio, mix. What the fuck does all that mean? I'd rather just have a plugin that says kablamo and it does it.
Well, that's like my big bugbear as well. Everything, like you look at a piece of software and they advertise it as being over the top. This is going to be over the top compression for you.
You're on about the OTT there, right? the thing is, it has
why can't it just be compression?
It has come to the point where to appeal to the lowest common denominator, you've really got to stupefy things to a ridiculous low to pull those people in. Now, I can't exactly blame the manufacturers because obviously the manufacturers are going to be sat there going, well, I mean, if you look at some of our gear, you know, I mean, £10,000 for an EQ.
Yeah.
They're not going to sell many of them.
Well, no.
But if they stupefy it and put colours on it and cut it right back and just say it's $1,000 and look at this, it's all full of crayons and colours and pretty things that press kablamo and whoop and super boost, you know, and airy fart control.
We're giving these designers good ideas, eh?
But, you know, airy fart control, you know, and you get the lowest common denominator looking at it going, oh, I've got an airy fart sound here if I turn that on. That's what they're doing. And as I say, it's because of the lack of education. I mean, this can relate back to, you can go to everything. You can go to YouTube, which again...
Well, I was just going to say to you, you know, before you trail off to YouTube, just keeping it there, like you say about, it's, you know, education, it's short attention span as well. You know, when they advertise these things, the latest one was, we saw something, a plug-in, and we thought, oh, we'll watch the demo video.
I know the one you mean.
And you can, well, you know the one I mean, because you can see by the look on my face, I'm not like amused, am I?
It was like, watch this demo video of what this can do. And it was just like this 3D image, which you know is not going to be 3D.
Because it's a piece of software.
It was this 3D, it was just spinning round and it was going, amazing, super, intelligent. But the thing is, I think games have gone the same way. If you look at adverts for games, they don't actually show the gameplay. They just show loads of FMV. What does the game look like? Is it any good? Or is it all 8-bit shit? But developers are doing that. They're just showing a 3D image spinning for 40 seconds and going, amazing, the Kablamo button does everything you need. And it's like, well, what does he do?
Yeah. So then we join, then we go down a little path and we go on a journey, don't we, to YouTube.
Oh God!
No, and that's like I don't know, like a nasty nest of itself, isn't it?
YouTube is the centipede of human education, isn't it? The thing I've got with YouTube is it's there to appeal to the lowest common denominator. They're there for likes and to advertise themselves. And one thing I notice is when you've got like some guy there for 2 minutes, he'll have 10 million views. Get a guy there who knows his shit, what he's talking about, and it's like an hour talk, he's got like 30 views. Yeah,
I've noticed that. It seems to be the things that are, when they're talking about production, and these are the 3 simple things you need, or the 10 simple steps to production.
You always have that dumb look on the face, totally pointing at something, looking stupid, going, don't forget to do this on every mix. Yeah. It's just like clickbait shit. If you're that good, why are you on fucking YouTube? Why aren't you going doing your job?
But then I hate the fact that, I've watched some YouTube, and I'll be honest, I watch very little YouTube now due to this reason, where I've even watched a very good seasoned professional who has done, a video on a topic, which I've thought, I really want to watch this. And they've stupidly started it like they're either talking about what biscuits they like to eat, or going to the shop, or having done the laundry. And it's like, what? Well, I don't need to know that. Just cut the shit out and tell me the stuff I need.
Again, it's the lowest common denominator. They know that these people have such a short attention span that you've got to constantly entertain and do this and do that. And it's like, if you've got such a short attention span, you shouldn't be fucking doing music. It's the last thing you should be doing. Go and find something else to do.
Yeah, I think that's the problem. Like society, we want to be inclusive, and I'm not looking to ever exclude anybody, and everybody should have the chance of doing things. Things need to be set at different levels, but I hate this attitude of trying to, simplify and take music production to stupidity level.
You see, I disagree with you there.
Well, everyone should have a choice and have a chance to have a go.
I think we need to earn these things. I mean, like, let's say you've got a house, and you decide, right, well, I want my kitchen done. Uh-huh. Yeah, and this guy comes round and he says, I can do your kitchen for $5,000. I'll build your kitchen. Now imagine that you find out this guy isn't a fucking joiner. He's just watched a few YouTube videos on how to fit it. Or would you want somebody who's qualified professional doing something? Now that guy who's qualified and professional has earned that living. He's earned the position he has. And I think the problem we have today is we're giving everybody, whether in first place or last place, an award going, yeah, you have an opportunity to, you haven't. And the problem is that we're clouding the whole system. I mean, we have a label. On Label Radar, and you see, and it's like 1,000 releases today, and it's all shit. You can hear how bad it is, and I think what we're doing is we're getting lost in it all because everybody has the opportunity to do it. Does not mean that everybody should do it, and this is it. I think we're at the point where really, if you want to do this, you should learn it properly. And once you've learned it properly, then do it. Don't just write some shit on Ableton and submit it, because that's where the problem's getting in. Because people who are good, have put the practice in, who've been doing it for years, who have learned it inside out, they're submitting to labels, and it's getting lost in a vast amount of clouded shit from all these people who've been learning it for 5 minutes on YouTube. I was on YouTube the other day. No, I'm off on one now. You started me. I was on YouTube
it's just like loading the gun, isn't it?
Well, I was watching something completely unrelated, but on the right hand side they have all these videos. And there's a guy there, and he goes, "This is how you do such and such a thing. I can't remember what it was, but I couldn't help it. I clickbait. I clicked on it, and he's there, and he goes, yeah, and I'm doing this now, and I'm doing this, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to compress this sound now. And he starts compressing this sound, and basically all he's trying to do is turn it up. You could just turn the volume up on it, but he's using compression. And you can see that he doesn't have a fucking clue what he's doing. But, you know what I mean? He's got 7 million views, and you think the 7 million people out there just watch that and go, oh, right, I'll do that. And you're like, but he didn't know what he was doing. He was compressing a really low waveform, and you could see that he couldn't even calculate what the attack time should be to allow the first cycle to pass through, which is basic mathematics, basic knowledge of audio engineering.
So, I mean, obviously music production is complicated, and it does take years and time and practice to master it, the skills that do, to be a good producer. Do you think that it's going to become a lost art?
I don't think it'll become a lost art. I think it is getting more and more difficult for skilled, talented people to make it in this industry, because there are so many people who think, because I've got the tools, I must be good at it. I mean, many, many years ago, when before I became a producer, I was a mechanic.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget going in, and there was the chief engineer, Tony, and he said, so you're a mechanic, are you? I went, well, yeah, I know a bit about cars. He went, right, there's all my tools. Fix that fucking car there. And it took me about an hour before I realised I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
Yeah. Do you think that? I mean, we get it sometimes that we'll get somebody who says they want to do a piece of production, and they want to do a piece of music, and they'll go, well, that genre I've had to listen to, and it sounds dead easy. And it's like, well, it's actually, it might not have many components, but because it's got less components doesn't mean it's easy. And it's like that's they miss the.
I think the problem we have today, we took on a student recently, and the student said, you're the only person I've ever worked with who said this shit isn't easy. And I think the problem is that a lot of people are on YouTube. I'm going to be cautious about the words I use here, but there's a lot of tutors out there that are kind of going, this is easy, and I'll show you how to do it in 3 weeks because this is easy. And all they're after doing is taking your money. There is no way in 3 weeks you are going to learn how to do everything you need to be able to do to write a professional piece of music. And what we do is not easy. This is an incredibly, incredibly difficult thing. It's like saying that, here's a few paintbrushes. I'm going to show you how to paint the Venus de Milo in 3 weeks. And you're like, well, yeah, you can show me, but it's not going to fucking turn out like the Venus de Milo, is it? But and when you say that, people think, oh, that's just ridiculous. It's the same thing with music. You have to be so attuned to what you're doing. You have to be a musician, an artist, a producer, an engineer. You have to understand the science of what you're doing. It's an incredibly complex thing that you're trying to get into. And it's not something you are going to learn in 3 weeks, but people will make money from you. They'll cash cow you. Oh, I'll teach you how to do this. Yeah, it's easy. Because that's what people want. They want the cliff notes. They want to know that it's easy. They want those oh, yeah, you tell me it's easy. It must be. Yeah, I'm so excited. And it's like a year down the line, they're like, I've not got anywhere. I've spent all this money on all these people, and I've still not got anywhere.
No, and it seems to be, say, the main thread is, like I said, people are trying to make things appear simple.
Yeah, cliff notes.
Yeah.
This is all you need to write a piece of music. It's like, fucking what?
No, you've got to take all the little pieces and actually put them together in the right way as well, haven't you?
Yeah, I mean, one of the worst things is if somebody's learnt from somebody who doesn't really know what they're doing or the teaching, and you get all these misguided dogmas, and then you're like, oh, you can't do this, and like, but I learnt this from YouTube. And it's like, if he's that good, why is he presenter on fucking YouTube? Why isn't he doing his job? Why isn't he sat in a professional studio? Why is he sat in his bedroom?
Yeah.
You need to start paying attention to these things, because this is a profession. It's not something you just thought. I mean, if you're doing it for fun, best of luck to you. But if you're doing this to be a professional and to write records that people want to listen to, you've got to be prepared to put your life and soul into this, because every day, I mean, I've been doing this for 32 years.
Yeah, and the rest. There's a few more, actually.
Yeah, 35 years. I don't fucking know. I mean, but I've been doing this for an awful long time, and I am still learning. Every day is a school day. I've been to university.
Yeah.
I've got a PhD in this, but I am still learning more and more and more every single time.
Yeah.
So you've got to be prepared to dedicate your life to this. You're not just going to fall into it, learn from some guy on YouTube and think 3 weeks later, I'm going to write a banging track, man. No, you're not. I can guarantee you that.
And for that, like that hit record, it's very unlikely you're going to be using your Periscope microphone, are you?
Well, but yeah, to get back on the topic, the Stupifying it to appeal to the lowest common denominator, to just sell shit to people that are going to buy it, play with it for 10 minutes, and then it'll be on eBay in a week.
Do you know, though, I'm going to have to say, I feel so much better now because, like, I've got my little angst out and I've managed to let you go off on a rant about it, and it's just got rid of it for me because now I'm quiet. I'll go back to do my window shopping.
I mean, I don't have a problem with them stupefying it. You know, if people are stupid enough to invest in that, it's like, fair enough. But I'll tell you now, 6 months down the line, that's going to be up on eBay and you've just blown your money.
Yeah.
You know, but if it gives people the smile and the entertainment they want, go for it. But I'll tell you now, the other one you talked about, that Terry EQ, was it expensive?
I think it was quite expensive, actually. Yeah, it was.
Well, There's no way I would buy that. It's all colours under the sun. I think I've seen it. It's kind of crayon colour, isn't it?
It does. It really looks like a piece of Fisher Price.
Well, I want to stick that in our studio because we're going to get professionals coming here looking at it going, what the fuck is that? You're not professionals. You know, why do you have an iron? It's like, well, do you know, you are, because when you work with professionals, they expect to see professional equipment. You know, I certainly don't want someone that looks like a Fisher Price toy sat in the corner and they're like, the fuck's that piece of shit over there? Oh, it's my new mixing and mastering toy. I'm going to... How much did you spend on that? You a mug?
No. Well, thank you. You can go back and do some work now.
Well, now you've wound me up.
Yeah, and I'm like dead chilled. Bye.
It's Mo and Teeth.